Hi guys, I just wanted to check in. So, as I've been grading your work, what I've noticed is that we are really struggling with reflexive verbs. And there's Snoopy. Hi Snoopy. So we're gonna do a quick review of reflexive verbs. Now, to conjugate reflexive verbs, we have to be solid on how to conjugate normal verbs. So let's go over that. So, remember, we have three verb families. We have AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs. So our three verb families. And I understand that this is flipped, so as you watch this video, you might want to pause and take a second to really look at these things. And Snoopy's going to keep getting in the camera. Snoopy stopped the first video. So continuing, so if you need to slow it down, you can do that, pause it, take a second to really look at the writing on my board or hear me say things over again. You can do that. And Snoopy is on the kitchen table. I gotta get him down. Come here, buddy. Yeah, you come here. All right, so Snoopy's joining the lesson. So we have the three verb families: AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs. That's it. All right, so AR verb endings. We have O, as, amos, ice, on. Our AR verb endings. Those are what we've got. Snoopy, hey, come here. Come here. There are treats on the table. That's why he keeps getting up there. So, those are AR verb endings. Now let's look at ER and IR verbs. So, for ER verbs, we have O, ace, a, emos, ace, in. And then IR verbs are almost identical except in the nosotros and vosotros form. So we have O, ace, a, emos for nosotros, is for vosotros, and then in. So we're almost identical, just a little bit different. So those are our verb endings. You have to know the endings before you can go and really conjugate a verb clearly. So we know that yo is O, to as or ace, el, ella, usted, a or a, nosotros, amos, hemos, imos, vosotros, ais, ace, is, and then ellos, ellas, ustedes, on or en. So we have our endings. When we know our endings, we can then successfully conjugate a verb. So to conjugate a regular verb, not a reflexive verb or an irregular verb, just a plain regular verb, nothing special about it. Step one. Step one, you take off your ending. You take off your ending, so you subtract the AR, ER or IR, you take off those, and then you're left with your stem. Remember, our stem tells us what action is being performed. Our ending tells us who is doing the action. So, step one, I took off my AR, ER, or IR. Step 2, I identify my subject. So I identify my subject. So if you see here, this says yo. It's flip-flopped, but it says yo. So that means my subject is yo, or in English, I. So now I need to, step 3, add on my new ending. So I'm going to add on my new ending. So I have yo, yo, so here are my stems, and I'm going to go and I'm going to add on my new ending. It's in the yo form, so that means I'm adding an O to all of these. And it changes to yo hablo, yo como, yo escribo. Now this could change based on what your subject is. We know that if it said tú, this doesn't match. I need to change my ending to as or es. So, tú hablas, tú comes, tú escribes. So that's conjugating a regular verb. But now we're dealing with reflexive verbs. So what is a reflexive verb? A reflexive verb is a verb where the action happens to the subject. The subject receives the action. So, reflexive verbs the subject receives the action. They are performing it to themselves. So, with that being said, we have two parts to this. When we see a reflexive verb in the infinitive being the to whatever, you're going to see that it ends in se, or say. So let's go with lavarse. We have lavarse. We have lavar, to wash, and then say. This say tells me that this is a reflexive verb, that it's happening to the subject. So if I'm performing the action, it's happening to me. If you're performing the action, it's happening to you. So when I conjugate a reflexive verb, step 1, I need to move the say. Now, where does the say go? The say goes at the front of the verb. So if I'm looking at lavar, say is going to go here. And it'll look like that. But now I need to conjugate lavar for the person who's doing the action. So in this situation, I'm going to be doing the action, so I need to put it in the yo form. So when I conjugate levar, I follow my steps for conjugating a verb, just like normal. I take off my AR, I'm left with this, and then I add on my new ending, an O. Well, now this doesn't match. Remember, reflexive verbs, they have to match. So if this is lavo, the say needs to change. The say needs to change to may. So now I have me lavo. I wash myself. So lavarse, to say I wash myself, me lavo. So reflexive verbs have reflexive pronouns. My reflexive pronouns are me, te, say, nos, os, and say. Here are my reflexive pronouns. How do I know which one goes with what? Well, if you think back to our verb charts, yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas, ustedes. I have this set up just like that. So, what goes with me? Yo. What goes with te? Tú. What goes with say? Él, ella, usted. What goes with nos? Nosotros. Vosotros is os. And then ellos, ellas, ustedes gets say. So yo, me, tú, te, él, se, nosotros, nos, vosotros, os, ellos, say. And that's my reflexive pronouns. So, when we're talking about daily routine, the unit that we're on right now, and health and wellness, most of our daily routine words are going to be reflexive because we do these things to ourselves. I put makeup on myself. I brush my own hair. I wash my own face. That's why these are all reflexive. Now we need to deal with the verb doler, or dolerse, which means to hurt. So on one of our assignments, you had to tell me, based on what the verb was, you had to tell me what hurt. So, dolerse, to hurt. To hurt. This conjugates just like a reflexive verb, except you are saying that the object is hurting you. So instead of saying me duelo, you can me duelo. This says I hurt myself. Now, obviously this is grammatically correct, but we're talking about other things on our body hurting us. So what hurts? My throat hurts. My leg hurts. My head hurts. To do that, to say it hurts me, I need to change the O in duelo to an E or to EN. So I have me duele and me duelen. Me duele is used for when it's singular. So I don't have more than one throat. So it would just be me duele. But I have 2 feet. So if I were saying my feet hurt, me duelen. So when it's plural, you use en. When it's singular, you use e. This is just like gustar. It follows gustar. So, to say my throat hurts In English, we say, my throat hurts. In Spanish, you're saying, the throat is hurting me. The throat is hurting me. So, me duele la garganta. Me duele la garganta. So, the throat is hurting me. In English, we say my throat is hurting, but here you are not using a possessive adjective. You are using the article, a definite article. You're not saying me duele mi garganta, it's la garganta. So, to reiterate this, on one of our assignments, you had a verb. And the first one, for example, was hablar. So what hurts if you can't talk? So you need to just say, I can't talk. No puedo hablar. I can't talk. Well, now let's think. If I can't talk, what is hurting me to prevent me from talking? You have a few options. You could say my teeth hurt, my mouth hurts for whatever reason, but the most logical one based on our vocab list is my throat hurts. So, no puedo hablar, I can't talk. Me duele la garganta. I can't talk, my throat hurts. Well, what if my verb was correr, to run? So I'm saying I can't run. So I would say no puedo correr, I can't run. So let's think, running, what do I run with? I could say my legs, or I could say my feet. We're gonna go with feet. Me duelen los pies. Now, it's not duele, it's duelen, because you have more than one foot. You have 2 feet. So, it needs to be duelen instead of duele. Alright, we're going to stop this video here. Remember, if you have any questions, you can email me through Canvas. You can email me through your school email. If you need more help, you can set up a video conference with me. Anything that you need to get through this. Now, a little extra information. If you noticed on Friday, if you looked at your announcements in Canvas, you have a test. So you have a test on Friday. It is just like any other test that you've taken for me, especially the Chapter 6 one, where you're getting a rating of novice low, novice mid, novice high, and the grade calculates accordingly. Still no translators. Do not use them, I can tell. So some of you, you've used translators on your homework assignment so far, and I've let you know that I know that you did that. So don't do it. Now, before you can take the test, I have it set up that it is going to be locked until you've completed all the activities for Chapter 7's module in Canvas. You have to do those. You must do them in order to be successful on the test. You need that practice. Also, these videos are meant to be helpful to you. I have the PowerPoints linked on Canvas that we've used in class. If you are just going through and doing the activities without going through the instructional videos, they're going to be difficult for you because we're talking about some new things like negative commands. They're different than positive commands or affirmative commands. So you need to be going through the PowerPoints, you need to be watching my videos, doing some studying. I can give you some other studying resources, but you need to be going through those in order to be successful during this time of NTI days. It's not ideal, and I understand it, but we've got to get through it. You have to do the work in order to be successful, just like if you were in class at school. All right, well, I hope everyone is staying safe, staying healthy. Remember, contact me if you have any questions. Bye.